Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is a very summer skin-like makeup look. I wanted everything to be super realistic. I added a little bit of shine to my eyes. Overall, I was just playing around with some old products, some new products, and I thought you guys might want to see this look since it is very summer appropriate. I love the way it turned out. Great for vacation time, you know. Most of the products are pretty minimal. And I use a lot of the products for several different things like cheeks, eyes, and lips. So multi-purpose look, super easy to achieve. And if you're interested, let's go ahead and get started.
Starting out with primer, I'm using my Becca Backlight Filter Primer. Anytime I want a really radiant finish, I will use this primer. It sets really nicely underneath foundation and just offers a little bit more of a youthful appearance. For foundation, I'm using the Clinique Super Balanced Silk in the shade Sahara, and I'm applying that with my Beauty Blender. This is a great medium full coverage foundation, but it has a wonderful natural finish to it. It's definitely more on the dewy side, but I was kind of going for that look. Obviously, with summertime skin, it almost looks like, you know, you've just been outside all day and your skin already just has like a natural glow to it. This formula is also very similar to Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, except the Clinique foundation actually stays on my skin. I could never get Luminous Silk to stay on my face. It always wanted to slip and slide around, which is really weird because I never had that problem with foundations. But Super Balanced Silk is a wonderful formula. For concealer, I'm using the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Concealer. This one is in the shade Light, and this again is a great skin-like formula. It's very emollient, so it doesn't dry down matte, it doesn't look crepey, and it doesn't settle into my fine lines, which I love. It's an oldie but a goodie, and I'm just applying that to my under eye area, high points of my face, you know, bridge of nose, forehead, chin, all of that fun stuff. For contour, I'm taking the new Urban Decay Shapeshifter palette, and I'm taking the contour shade that comes in it. I've just really been loving this. The cream formula in this palette is wonderful. It blends out super easy, and I especially love the color that they chose for this palette because it's not so cool tone that you look gray, but it's also not an orange contour. So it's just kind of like that perfect medium, just neutral contour shade. And I'm applying that with a BH Cosmetics angled foundation brush. I got this in one of their sets a long time ago. It was called the Sculpting Set. I always get questions on this brush when I use it. For highlighter, I'm using my all-time favorite and also the highlighter I used on my actual, it's What's Up. This just always makes your face look skin-like. I mean, you can have the mattest foundation on. Sometimes I use this on top of powder foundation if I feel like I look a little bit too flat. But it just always makes your face look so radiant and skin-like. And to set the contour / bronzed areas, I'm taking the Becca Sunlit Bronzer in the shade, I think this one was called Bondi Sands, and I'm applying that with an Eco Tools powder brush. It's just a large fluffy brush. And I'm just lightly setting the areas that I applied the cream contour. These bronzers are amazing. They seriously make you look like you've been out in the sun. This one definitely has a little bit more of a reddish hint to it, so it's almost like you have a little bit of sunburn going on. I love them. I think they're so natural and forgiving. And on my cheeks, I'm using the Bite Multi-Stick in the shade Blondie. And again, it just kind of adds like a natural flush to the cheeks. This is something I'm also going to reuse on my eyes. I love using these multi-sticks. Honestly, I never took the time to pick up more, but I want to pick up more. I like them that much. And then to set my face, just so I'm not overly shiny, I'm using one of my all-time favorite setting powders, which is the Bare Minerals Hydrating Mineral Veil. And I'm just lightly setting every area that kind of looked a little too dewy. I did my brows off camera. I just used the Hourglass Arch and Define pencil. And then I'm taking that multi-stick from Bite Beauty. Again, it's called Blondie. And I'm just applying that all over my lids, kind of for a monochromatic appearance, tied in the cheeks and the lids together. And I'm just using that on a Real Techniques. I think I think this one's called a Dome shadow brush. It's just one of their basic shadow brushes. I've really been loving their eyeshadow brushes lately. They're just so easy to use, especially with cream products. So I just applied that shade all over both of my lids and kind of just buffed it out all the way up to my brow bone and also in my inner corner pretty heavily. I don't know why I did that. I just kind of was feeling it. And then to add kind of a glossy look to the lid, I applied 2 of the Makeup Forever Star Powders. I'll have the numbers listed down below, but it just kind of created like a glossy effect to the lid without actually having to put gloss on the lids, because we all know when you do that, your eyeshadow doesn't last very long. So this is a great alternative, just kind of applying a super sheer kind of glittery powder over the top of a cream product. And then to give my lash line a little bit of definition, because I am going in with falsies, I'm taking the Charlotte Tilbury Perfect Powder Pencil in the shade Audrey. And I'm just applying that to my lash line and buffing it out with a basic shadow brush. I mean, nothing special going on here. You can even leave this out. I just feel like my lashes always look a little bit more concealed when I do this. So I always go in with just a little bit of liner. And then I'm applying the Ardell Demi Wispy lashes to my eyes, obviously. And I always get questions on how I kind of blend my lashes, especially when I don't have a lot of liner on. And I just use this little guy right here. It's from Tarte. It's called the Little Lash Helper. And I mean, a ton of brands make cheaper versions of this. I just randomly splurged on it one day. It's about $14, but I love mine, and I just squeeze my natural lashes with the falsies, and they just always come out looking really seamless, especially when I don't have a ton of liner on. So that's what I use to do that. And then for my lips, I'm using MAC's Oh Honey lip liner just all over my lips and just on the outer corners, actually just everywhere. I used it everywhere. I was just going to use it to outline, but then I decided, what the heck, let's just go ahead and fill in the lip. And then to give the lips a little bit more of a fuller pout, I used Bare Minerals Freestyle lip liner on the outer corners. And of course, I needed a little bit of gloss, so I applied one of my favorites, which is MAC's Boy Bait lip gloss. And that completes this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them down below, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.